Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday Live. I think I have the sun right behind me, but I will try to not move too much. So I'm just posting the link to my Facebook page. And yeah, so that's all ready. Welcome to another Sunday Live. Thank you for all the new subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. I'm at 300 subscribers now, which is really cool. The internet is an amazing, crazy place. So I'm super excited to jump on another one of these. And I've prepared quite a few things to talk about today that make me really excited. And I hope you walk away from watching this live feeling, more motivated, empowered in your own lives as well. So just before I get started, I just wanted to send all my love. Hello, Larissa. Hello. Hey everyone. I just wanted to send all my love to all the Victorians who are currently in lockdown at the moment. I hope you're all doing well and are safe and everything. So sending my love to everyone across the world. And as I'm going to do quite frequently on these Q&As and lives, is I'm going to go through news that I find interesting, that I think are in the public interest and are relevant to all of us vegans out there, doing this cause for the animals. So I want to bring something positive to you all as well. So I'm also going to send through the links on the chat as well. And also feel free to ask me any questions as well about veganism or anything in general. Also, happy Valentine's Day. My Valentines are all the animals across the world who are just infinitely compassionate and are the most innocent beings. They're my true Valentine, and I hope that people decide to change the way that they view what they eat, so it can help the animals. Okay, so I will send you through the first link that I found interesting. Okay. Alrighty, so I generally have a look at Live Kindly as well as plant-based news. I've also, I generally keep up with general mainstream news, but I feel like a lot of these things don't tend to get picked up by our Western mainstream media. So the world's first 3D printed steak grown in a lab was revealed. This was made in Israel. Now, the actual food itself is not vegan, but I think this technology is, it's a part of the vegan conversation. And if you've ever seen that TED talk about lab-grown meat, in the future, for people who aren't going to go vegan, like ever, and are dead set on their, their values of eating meat, this could be something to reduce what is happening on such a mass scale, while being, I'm not really a halfway vegan. I'm definitely an abolitionist, but I also realize that what we're facing here has so many obstacles for us to get through, and it's not going to happen overnight. So these technologies, I believe we all need to keep an eye on and be aware of, because they're on the scene. We should be aware about what's happening around us. So I thought that was really interesting, because it's still in its infancy, this type of technology, but it could change the way that agriculture is operating now, and does, it could be a better option a bit down the line. But I'd also like to show you, this one made me really happy. Oh my gosh. Yes, I hope it works too. So yeah, Larissa just commented, surely most people who eat it would rather it come from a kinder source. I agree with that. I also think a lot of people, they go through life trying to make it just by, and having something there conveniently for them that's not going to make them have to change themselves too much. It's going to make it easier for people to change what they're eating because it's a little bit more convenient. Unfortunately, humans by nature, we are lazy beings and we do things that are easier. So if we continually try to create environments around us that are conducive to better choices, I think that's going to really help us on a mass scale. So the link I just put through in the chat is vegan milk. Oh my gosh, what did I just say? Oh, I can't edit that out. Oh, that's terrible. Vegan milk sales are contributing to the decline of dairy, says a USDA report. Vegan milk sales are negatively affecting sales of cow's milk, according to a recent USDA report. Researchers from the Economic Research Service, an arm of the USDA, aimed to determine if plant-based milk sales are increasing at the expense of dairy milk. Data was collected by private market research company IRI for 2013 through 2017. So according to the report, dairy milk sales are still in decline. Weekly averages purchases fell by 12%. So yeah, dairy milk sales are still significantly higher than vegan milk sales. However, plant-based milk sales are directly contributing to the decline in household purchases of cow's milk. So that's really cool. Have a look at this report yourself. It's really, really interesting. Although it does note that it's not the only thing contributing to the decline in dairy milk. So I had this a lot when I was doing a lot of street activism, is that I would say that it's causing the decline of dairy milk. And then a few people I was talking to did pull me up on that and say that it's not the only reason. So there are other reasons why dairy milk is to say in here that the consumption of cow's milk has been in decline since the 1940s. So vegan as a term wasn't actually around until the 1940s. And they say here that the rate has significantly sped up in recent years. So yeah, I think a lot of those other reasons why it's declining, it doesn't say in here, but it is to do with people being more lactose intolerant, even though we're not baby cows, but people realizing they're lactose intolerant and getting other alternatives. So that was really cool, and I'm cheering. That makes me really, really happy. Yeah, because these industries, the people behind milk and agriculture, can go and get other jobs. The animals don't get another life. That's just, yeah, you can't. Don't think you can really argue with that. Another breaking news headline. Maybe I should just talk like that on this now. I'm just having a look at the comments. Yes, I agree with you, Larissa. Hopefully we raise our numbers enough that we raise a generation of mostly vegans at some points. So yeah. She says here that apparently in 1946, veganism was founded by some Donald dude. Probably not McDonald's, but yeah, McDonald's is having a vegan burger in Denmark. I think I went over that in my last live, and I hope that comes to Australia. I'm just sending through another link so you guys can check it out. But Nestle is going to launch a vegan Kit Kat, says the Insider. So, food giant Nestle is launching vegan Kit Kat chocolate bars, according to Vegan Food UK. Vegan Food UK is an online organization. I don't need to read that. But the vegan Kit Kats are coming. So, that's really cool. I haven't had a Kit Kat since I was little. So, yeah, that's just like a section of the food aisle I just block out of my mind when I walk past it. But that's really cool. It also notes here that there's mixed feelings. It doesn't say it exactly, but we all know Nestle's had a bit of a checkered history, it says, when it comes to various business practices. So these include a major scandal in the 70s when many boycotted the conglomerate due to its aggressive promotion of its formula milk over breast milk to women in developing countries. So after that internal internal investigation, Nestle admitted that forced labor practices were taking place in its supply chain. It has also faced accusations of child labor, unethical water mining, and deforestation, among others. So, yeah, I guess I have mixed feelings about that because I don't really buy anything from Nestle, but yeah, it's just another example of companies jumping on the bandwagon, but they do have a vegan product, so I guess it's a start, I think. Yeah, also just on learning about the ethical nature of supply chains is super interesting. So in one of my earlier vlogs, I had a bottle of coconut water and it was Coco Bella, and someone mentioned in the comments that there is monkey labor practices as well in Thailand a lot. So I wasn't aware of that, that Coco Bella wasn't, that they weren't very clear about it on their website and they weren't listed in the PETA website. So I actually had to email them, and then they sent me a bunch of information, which was really, really great. So you can always reach out to these big companies and ask about the nature of their supply chains. I mean, Coco Bella sent me, or whichever was the company that managed the supply chain of their products, sent through a bunch of information and like a whole video about how they make sure everything's ethical, and then they confirmed for me that they didn't use monkey labor. So just remember that you can always reach out to these companies as well if you do want to buy their products that are vegan. Also, just be aware that they do take a long time to message back. I mean, when I posted that video and I got the comment, I let them know I've asked them, but until then I won't be buying it. And then I think it was 2 weeks later they came back, but it was a lot of information to take in. So yeah, definitely go down that route if you need to. Also, yeah, so that's kind of the main vegan news that I found to be really interesting this week. Hey, Chris. Yeah, sorry, I just saw the comments then. Yeah, so yeah, Coco Bella doesn't use monkeys, it's great. And they also clarified they don't use child labor, which is also really, really good. And yeah, it's crazy. All of the stuff that happens in other products that aren't exactly food either. I mean, I'm learning a lot about art supplies and what is and what isn't vegan. I mean, it's really messed up. I can't swear on a live, but it's super messed up. I found out that in a lot of black paint, they use bone chard, charred bones, to make the pigment black. And a lot of companies are a lot of them may be vegan except for those colors, because they still use those old traditional ingredients, because a lot of paint companies are actually very old and use the traditional methods. And then there's also horsehair and stuff in paintbrushes. So do be aware, and veganism is just a constantly learning process about how messed up the world is. But don't go down an existential hole, because that's not going to help anyone. Anyway, so on to my next point. I went to Grill today. Yes, so I saw a comment here, you have to be careful getting tattoos as well. You do have to clarify with the tattoo artist if the ink is vegan. I got this in New Zealand. Sorry, I'm going to flex now. And that is ahimsa, so it's Sanskrit for ahimsa, which means non-violence and compassion to all beings. I got that tattoo in New Zealand and checked with them if it was all vegan, and it was, and I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. And I got it in Sanskrit because I wanted people to ask me what it meant, and then I could kind of lead that conversation of compassion into how it relates to veganism, and it's been quite useful. So yeah. With me today, I went to Grilled, which was really, really great. I kind of broke my gluten-free streak, just because I was like, if I'm gonna have a burger and chips, I'm gonna go the full way and have the whole thing. And I had the vegan cheeseburger with like the normal chips, which was like super great. And today they had a deal for 2-for-1 burgers because it's like Valentine's Day. So it was really nice. And they also have kombucha there. But I also just wanted to bring everyone's awareness to the fact that they do Meatless Mondays and a really cool new deal. So they're adding more to the mix with Meat-Free Monday and Tree Day Tuesday. So you've got to be like a Dine-In Relish member. So I wasn't a member, but when I went up there, I just, created an account and then got the discount. That was for the Valentine's Day thing today. But they also have Meat-Free Monday, where if you grab a mate and get 2-for-1 plant-based burgers on Mondays. So yeah, they've even got a bit on their website about how their plant-based patties use less water and energy to produce. So making the switch for a day is a delish way to do good for the planet. So pair it with a partner and get 2 plant-based burgers for the price of 1 on Mondays. So yeah, I'm including this if there's any students watching, because there was a Grilled near my uni or just in the city, in the CBD in Sydney. And it's just a really great place for like all of us vegan activists to go after a day of activism. So yeah, just putting that out there. And then they've also got their Tree Day Tuesday as well, which is buy any burger on Tuesday to help grow a 100-year protected grilled forest. But let's be honest, we all want them to support vegan burgers. Just buy the vegan one. I mean, buy any burger. Maybe not buy any burger. I mean, beef causes more deforestation, so it just seems like you're going to put a Band-Aid on. No, sorry, throw a bucket on like a bucket of water on a house on fire. That's what that sounds like to me. So maybe just get the vegan burger. Yeah, so that's what I did today. It was really great. And I also, when I stopped to get petrol on the way back, I went to service station, Pie Face. Sometimes they're like connected to the service station. And I already knew that this Pie Face, they do vegan pies as well. But what I was pleasantly surprised with today was that they also do vegan donuts now. So there's 2 types of vegan donuts. And I really wanted to get one, but I was like, okay, maybe don't push the vegan junk food train too much today, because yeah, I was just like, I think I've had enough chips for today. And I'll just check the comments. Do you personally worry about cross-contamination at restaurants, or do you know when you go that it's potentially a possibility and you're okay with that? Just curious. It really depends, because I know some places take their cross-contamination very seriously. So yeah, someone said they do cook on a different grill. That's what I thought as well. But I have been in situations where I can see what they're doing and I'm not happy with it and I won't eat there. For example, when I was in Burleigh Heads, I went to a Govinda's, and Govinda's is generally vegetarian and vegan. It's all vegetarian, but they generally have a lot of vegan options. And usually the staff are at least vegetarian anyway. So you think going into it that they have some sort of awareness about like the vegan lifestyle and everything. But this one that I went to was actually super disappointing and very frustrating, because I went there super hungry and it was like a buffet, right? And I was lined up and you could see them literally just using the spoons over everything. The cheese was going everywhere and I was like, I'm not eating here. So it does matter a lot to me. And I also like know someone that was vegan and they went to Subway and they wouldn't, the chick got really funny with them about changing gloves. So there wasn't any cross-contamination. So I'm also, after hearing that, I'm a bit funny with Subway. I don't really want to eat there after I heard that. And yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, there's so many different diets and allergies now, most places with vegan options are generally quite respectful and have some sort of like protocol with dealing with cross-contamination. But for places where there's not as many options, you do have to be a lot more clear. And I've found it to be an assertive exercise because I will have to be quite, okay, don't do that, please. And I will ask, otherwise I just won't eat there and I'll find something else. The thing that happened in Burley Heads was quite sad because there wasn't really anything else vegan there. So I just walked around for a couple of hours and then I just ended up going to Woolies anyway. So those things do happen. And also calling ahead doesn't help, also helps as well. So that's what I learned today. They have vegan donuts. Also, what I thought was really cool, we have so many. Woolies has like, if you spend $30, you get like free seedlings. I'm just gonna like, we have so many, oh my God. We've got like, maybe I should have made that the thumbnail. But yeah, so I thought that was really, really cool because I'm pretty sure there's like 24 different vegetables, herbs, and flower seeds to collect and grow. So that's nice. Ooh, I just got it everywhere. All this burger talk is making me hungry. Yeah, I'm like getting hungry now again. Yeah, the seedlings are really great. So I'm really excited to get onto that. I mean, we have so many. And thank you so much for coming, Larissa. Hope you have an amazing night. And yeah, so what plants are there? I think I've got to look inside all of them. So we've got oregano. Depends on how big you are. Silver beets. We've got silver beets. What else? Which is good. More silver beet. Red basil. That's cool. Should I start doing like an ASMR? Start tapping the boxes? Yes, it's very easy to be vegan these days. Aster? I don't even know what that is. It's hectic. Okay, I'm going to put the boxes away later. Maybe this is the last one to talk about now. Perpetual spinach. Interesting name. Yes, we can grow our own food. It's very sustainable and it also tastes better. I mean, there's so many veggies that are coming through the garden thanks to my amazing housemate Piers. He got like the first corn on the cob yesterday and it was so good. And we always get all of our greens from the garden as well. And it saves money and yeah, it just tastes really fresh as well. So it's definitely like worth the effort. Cool. So those are all the news things that I wanted to talk about today. I did want to mention that I had an idea for a video because of Valentine's Day, but I want to make it into like a video. So I won't be talking about those things today, but that video will be coming out on Tuesday. And then I have a more technical related video coming out on Thursday as well. So today's kind of theme of this live is about manifestation. I felt really inspired today driving up to Grilled. It was like a nice day out. And I was listening to this book called Real Magic by, what's his name? Dr. I'll just get it up. No, my link's not going to work. Real Magic, Creating Miracles in Everyday Life by Dr. Wayne Dwyer. So the link I'm going to pop through on the comment section is an affiliate link to Amazon. I'd also just like to say thank you to everyone who has been clicking through on the affiliate links, because they really do support me. And yeah, so thank you so much to the people doing that. This is a link to that book, and it's super inspirational, and I'm finding it's kind of affirmed a lot of things that I've been working on a lot in my own life. I was really lucky. Yeah, it is a great book. I was really lucky when I was quite young to have parents that had the secret around and were very open to ideas like the law of attraction. So I grew up from a very early age making vision boards and, manifesting kind of like without really trying too hard, because it just came really naturally to me. I'd also like to talk through the general process of how to do it. I don't call myself an expert, but I've definitely had very crazy, amazing synchronicities happen in my life. Also, let me know in the comments if you've had any crazy synchronicities as well. I would really love to hear them if you've had any that you're willing to share. I'm going to talk about a few of mine. So when I was 10, I made this massive, massive, crazy vision board about things I was super passionate about. I love traveling. I've been to Bali like 8 times, thanks to my parents. And so I always grew up wanting to travel even more when I turned 18. And I remember when I made this crazy vision board from like magazines and stuff, because I still had so many, I put a photo of Tuscany, like the olive groves of Tuscany. And it was like this beautiful afternoon sunset over this olive grove. And I remember being like 10 and not really knowing where it was, like in the world. I hadn't watched Eat, Pray, Love yet. And I just put it there because I was like, that looks like a nice place. I would like to go to that place. And yeah, so that vision board, I looked at it throughout my teen years and I just kept it for like nostalgia. And I'm also interested to see what else happens on that board that I've put there since I was little. And when in 2017, one of my best friends and I, we decided to go to Europe together. We'd been working. I had taken a gap year because I really wanted to go and explore the world. I wanted a break from the institutional school system as well. So we decided to go overseas. And part of our plans was to book 2 Kentuckys back to back, which was awesome. And neither of us had been to Europe before. So we thought Kentucky was the best way to tick all those boxes and to go to as many places as possible. We went to 21 countries in 7.5 weeks. It was insane. And I think I slept for about 2 days when I got home. It was magnificent. And it was just such a great trip. And anyway, so this tour was massive, right? We did 4 weeks of camping with 2 weeks in hotels. And I looked at the major points of where we were going, but, I knew we were going through Italy and everything, but I didn't know where we were going to stay, because as campers, sometimes we were like in the city in a hotel, and then sometimes we were in the countryside, depending on what country we were in. And I had this amazing like deja vu kind of moment, because we actually on Kentucky stayed at this campsite in this beautiful mountainous olive grove in Tuscany. And I hadn't been running much because I was on holiday, but my guide was also a runner as well. So we decided to go for a run together. And we went for a run through the hills, through the olive groves, and we like got to the top of this hill, and it was like the middle of the day. And I was like, oh my God, I put this on my vision board when I was like bloody 10 years old. Like, what is happening? This is insane. So that was a really, really cool coincidence, because it was just like a little picture that I put there and forgot about. I trust that the universe is going to like support me. So it's not something I always am especially when I was so young, I didn't think about it too much. And then another like crazy story that happens, and I didn't actually realize until a few months after it happened, but I'm not a professional classical guitarist, but I have played classical guitar since I was about 8 or 10. I haven't been practicing much lately, but it's something that I want to do more of. And when I made that big vision board when I was 10, I had unknowingly put a photo of Gabriela, this Mexican flamenco, like classical guitarist from Rodrigo and Gabriela, on my vision board. I had no idea who she was at the time. I just saw the photo in a magazine and I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to do that. And I did do quite well in music in high school. I played in a folk band and I love playing guitar still to this day. And I can play a little tiny bit of flamenco. It's something I'm planning on working on in the future. But what was crazy about that was when they came to Australia, I went and watched them, and just circumstance, I managed to get to the front of the concert and like literally shake hands with her and Gab and Rodrigo as well. And then I think I was still at uni, so I came home like a few weeks later, and then I looked at my board and I went, oh my God, that woman I put on my board was like, I've literally like met her. And by the way, these guys are vegan as well. I'm going to put in their channel link if I have it somewhere. So these guys are amazing. What I really love about these two is that they're vegan as well. So they make really great music. They've had their music put in like Pirates of the Caribbean and everything. I think I accidentally sent it twice. Sorry. But yeah, let me know if you've heard of them before. But yeah, it was just really, really crazy. She was really beautiful. It was just so weird. I didn't even know who she was when I put her on my board. And then she's like one of my biggest role models, actually. So yeah, that was really crazy. And there's like a lot of other crazy manifestations. Like most of the places that I've put on my vision board when I was 10, I've actually been to. Like I've been to like over 30 countries now. And I would attribute that to having that in my mind from such an early age, and then pairing an intention to go and work for it and meet the universe halfway to support me. So you set the intention and forget or focus on it now. Yeah, so I guess goes into the actual practical how to manifest. There's many different schools of thought around this, I guess, and I'm constantly learning about it. I definitely believe you need to set the intention, and well, it's interesting. So what I think happened when I was 10 is I wasn't setting things that were specific, really. Like they weren't really, really specific. It was like, I'm going to go meet Gabriela from Rodrigo and Gabriela. It was just like the visual imagery was in my mind, and that's what I attracted. But now that I'm a lot older and I know what I want and what I stand for in life, it makes it a lot easier, I think, to manifest things because I'm more specific about what I want. So I would say there's a little bit of a paradox here with the forget or focus on it now, because it's like if a new house, you put an intention into the world that I want this house. And if you completely forget about it and you don't do anything to meet the universe halfway to make it happen, you're just kind of wishing, and you literally are just forgetting about it, and it's just a wish. Whereas if you focus on it, then you're actually pushing it away because you're reminding yourself that you don't actually have it in the physical reality right now. So it's a bit of a paradox, and it's a bit of a balance. It's a bit of a balance. That's how I visualize it anyway. So it's a bit of both. You say you want the new house. What's important is you figure out why you want the new house. I think I have a bit of a step-by-step. I'm going a little bit in circles. But I think before you even start to manifest anything, I think you need to begin with gratitude for the things you actually have in life. Be thankful for the basics that you have in life. If you have enough food, if you have, family and friends, make sure you cherish all of those things first, because then it's going to put you in a state where you're in appreciation and you're already thanking the universe. You're not in a state where you're saying, oh, I don't have this, because that's just, it can be quite negative. I mean, there's a place for acknowledging negative emotions because they do tell us where to go in life. But if we're like, oh, I don't have my new Lamborghini, it's just like, well, you're just being not thankful for all the other good things you have in your life. So if you're living in a state of gratitude, the universe is going to want to support you. It's like, say you get a gift from a friend and you don't thank your friend. Do you think your friend's going to want to give you another present? No, because they're like, oh, well, she or he didn't give a damn that I gave them a present. Why would I give them another one? But if you're like, thank you so much, for everything you put into this and your energy, they're going to feel a lot better walking away. So you need to treat the universe like a friend that's giving you a present, because if you are in that state, you're going to attract like attracts like. So definitely start with gratitude. Make a gratitude list if you need to, or even just sit there and meditate on it. And that kind of brings me to my second point. Meditation really, really helps with manifestation, because if you constantly identify yourself with your thoughts that rush through your head crazy amounts throughout the day, and most of what we think is not productive or positive and is very, very repetitive. So if we're constantly identifying ourselves with our thoughts, then we're just going to be all over the shop. We're not going to be operating in a higher wavelength, really. So if we can sit with ourselves, and that comes into gratitude and appreciation, because if we're okay to sit with ourselves and be as we are, then we recognize that we are whole as we are, and we don't actually need anything outside of ourselves, because we are light, basically. If you feel the universe in your own body, oh my God, people are going to think I'm absolutely nuts saying this. Ugh. I wanted to start a spirituality channel. Here I am talking about how we are light. So it's true, we are light. Everything at an atomic level is energy. So if you just sit there and you are being with yourself, then you're at a much better starting point to manifest, because if you're calmer, then you can be a lot more focused with your intention. And you're also not going to send the universe mixed messages. There's plenty of times where I've sent the universe mixed messages and it doesn't work. You need to be in a calm, grounded space. You're going to manifest things anyway. So you want to be in a good, calm, grounded space. And meditation really does help you set a really good foundation. And it'll also speed it up as well. So if you say you do meditation before you go and manifest, I find that having a vision board is super, super powerful in manifesting things, because I'm very visual. I need to see things in front of me. Words, having cut out words there, are also really, really good. Having a physical manifestation board, I find there's something about, cutting out an image and placing it onto something physical is another way to reaffirm to your subconscious and to the universe that that's what you want. But if you're going to do the physical vision board, it might be helpful to actually think about why you want this thing. What are the emotions that you're going to experience when you get this thing? Because we don't want things for the thing. We want the thing for the emotions that we're going to feel once we get it. So say you want a partner. I'm guessing you want someone that makes you feel loved and safe, and that if you can bring that emotion to the present and imagine how that would feel in your own body, you are going to attract the thing. I hope I'm explaining that well. You're going to attract the thing because you're putting yourself on that same wavelength. So, for example, what I've done in the past is I've put photos up of triathletes and cyclists, like really fit cyclists and triathletes. And I know when I'm putting the image on the board, while I'm thinking of the image, like putting it on there, I'll be like, okay, how do I want to feel? Like, how do I want to feel doing this? I'm going to feel strong. I'm going to feel fast. I'm going to feel healthy. I'm going to feel vibrant. I'm going to feel like victorious in a lot of cases. And that method has really worked for me. My first marathon, I did in under 4 hours. I was actually, if I wasn't grounded, I probably would have been nervous because the place I was working at a bar at that time while I was at uni, and everyone at work was like watching because you had a chip on your bib and people could track your number live. So for that race, at the start of the journey, I was imagining how I wanted to feel through the entire process. I had an action plan of all the little things I had to do along the way, because you also need to do actions that are going to meet the universe halfway. You can't just say, I want to be a triathlete and then not go for a ride. Like you've got to put in the work, and you've got to put in the spiritual intention as well. I think that's really where the magic is. And you've got to kind of sustain that throughout the journey. But you also, you do have to forget about the results a little bit, because it's about the journey. It's about how you feel through the process. If you're constantly hung up on a certain result, that's going to create anxiety and separation from you experiencing it, I think. So sometimes it is good to just let it sit in the back of your mind. It doesn't always have to be in the forefront. We have a lot of things going on in our lives, and letting the shifts and change happen while being proactive, I know it's a paradox, but is really, really helpful. It's all a balance. So another point I wanted to talk about is I find a printout is really, really helpful, because you can put it somewhere and you see it every single day and you walk past it, and it's really hard to put away. I know sometimes in share houses, I haven't wanted my roommates to see it because it's very personal. It's very personal. You need to be careful who you tell your dreams to, because people can unknowingly crush them. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I'd ever have roommates that crush my dreams, but it makes you feel very vulnerable to go and start a dream or to have a goal. I remember when I first started, I did acting in high school. I remember someone, I don't know, they made like I disappeared from school every now and again because I had to go to an audition, and then I had someone ask me, why are you like never at school? And I was like, oh, I'm auditioning in Sydney. And they're like, oh, really? And I was like, oh, I'm never telling anyone ever again I'm going to an audition, because until I actually got a job, people didn't take me seriously. So sometimes it is good to just only share things, your dreams, with people that you know have your best interests at hand and are going to support you. And it just takes the pressure off you a little bit, and therefore you'll have less anxiety trying to manifest. That's what I found anyway. And then also you can have the printout. Or what I've been experimenting with, and I've found it to be really useful because I can update them and I can make them more frequently. and I don't have magazines anymore, and I don't exactly feel like going and spending $13 on like Frankie or something like that, or I don't always want a bunch of random, tabloid magazines from the op shop in my house. So I actually have been doing digital Pinterest boards where I make like a secret board. I call it whatever the thing is, I don't know, 2021, for example. And then you can get very specific for, hello. Thank you for everyone who's stayed this far and who's joined and everything. I really appreciate everyone jumping on. And yeah, it's really, really nice. It's a nice, really lovely vegan community. So that's what I like to do with Pinterest. And because it's on my phone, it's around me all the time throughout the day. If I want to remind myself why I'm doing things, if I need a little bit of focus, to move forward in a work thing or goals or fitness or health, I kind of have those images that ignite a passion in me. Sometimes it's not about the image itself, it's about the passion it ignites in you. Like for example, in some of my boards, I've put, like editing, like a bunch of editing like photos. And this was towards the end of my degree because I was about to finish this long journey of like school, and I was like, I want to get out there and make things that people can see, and they're not just, for my tutors. And then once I started putting all those editing things up, then, I started working with Dr. Leo Venus, and it was awesome. I love working with Leo. He's a really great dude. And these things really, manifestation does work. You're manifesting things anyway. So even if it does sound new agey and weird, you're doing it anyway. So you might as well be intentional about it. So yeah, definitely get onto that. And I'd also like to talk about something else that's quite recent that I've incorporated into my life that I think could help you. Also, just a disclaimer, I'm not a crystal healer. This is all like new stuff for me, and there's a lot of different beliefs about what these things can do for you in your life. But for me personally, I love having crystals around me because I am very visual. I was a film student, so I love seeing things I associate like sounds to images and stuff. Like I love picking music for videos. So I don't know what it's called. Like when you, synesthesia, I don't know if I actually have that, but I like having visual things because they remind me of other things and sounds and stuff as well. So in terms of manifestation, crystals are really great because if you go out and purchase a crystal, it's kind of like doubling down on that intention, right? Like you're acting on this thought you have to get, to continue your journey to the thing you want or the experience you want. And you don't have to go out and buy a huge crystal mantelpiece for your house that costs thousands of dollars because then that's just like spiritual capitalism. And if you don't need to buy very big crystals. And this is just if it helps you. It helps me. For example, I really love rose quartz because I bought this at a time that, I really wanted to increase self-love. I was going through a bit of a rocky breakup and I bought this because I just wanted that reminder. I will send through a link for some of the healing benefits of rose quartz. But yeah, so say you want to cultivate more self-love, and this is actually what my video on Tuesday is going to be about. But yeah, so you have this, you buy this with the intention to cultivate more of example self-love. You can keep this, under your pillow, next to your bed. And when you see it, it kind of is that visual trigger, that visual reminder to take more time to show appreciation for yourself. So just on a very basic level, that's how crystals can really help you. I also really love selenite, because I'll send through a link for selenite. But when I see this, it's like a nice, like milky moon kind of stone. And to me, it's like clearing energy. It's also known that it clears the energy of other crystals as well. And for me, having this around reminds me to bring more peace and clarity, just as you're going about your daily business. If it's in your house, then you're going to see it a lot, and that's going to remind you of the things that you're manifesting currently. And another one I really love is green aventurine. This reminds me of the things that I want to cultivate in my, they do work. People think it's all woo-woo, but it's totally like crazy. Like the earth created these. Don't you think that's just nuts? Like they're just so beautiful, and crystals come in like every color of the rainbow. But green aventurine, I got this when I was trying to manifest something very special happening in my career. And I had it next to my bed, and I would like meditate with it. There's a lot of guided meditations for different types of crystals that you can look up on YouTube, and they'll usually ask you prompts about what you want in your life. And having this just reminds me of that particular amazing opportunity that I got. Like that one opportunity I got is this. It really helped me bring that into my life. And also, a really amazing crystal is this is an orange calcite that a really great friend of mine, Coralie, gifted to me for Christmas. It's so beautiful, and I love it so much because it's a point, and it's like direction of energy and being very focused. Again, I'm a film student, so I see one thing and my brain goes quite abstract. Also, I am thinking of doing more videos about film as well, and my recommendations. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that, because I really do love talking about film and art and all things beautiful. But yeah, this orange calcite is really good. This says on here, the little card that it came with, orange calcite, energy increaser, amplifier of creativity and sexuality. Interesting. So yes, let's keep this live stream G-rated. So this is really great for creativity. I love having this on my desk and around me when I'm doing creative things and when I'm journaling, because it reminds me to tap in to that universal creative energy and, just like flow with life. Like it's just such a great, like all the lines that flow through it. The earth is crazy, and we can totally harness that energy to bring more beautiful manifestations of love and light into our lives. So that's my little bit on crystals. I hope you enjoyed that. Just to recap, to manifest, have a think about what you want in your life, like really get real. Like what experiences do you want to have? What things do you want? We don't have to get super materialistic here, but it is nice to have material things sometimes, a lot, but also keep it about experiences as well. Think about the emotion you want to feel when you experience it, and that's going to help you bring that thing or that experience closer to your reality. Also, sometimes you need to get to work and then forget about the result a little bit, but then also put in effort and meet the universe halfway. And having trust that the universe is going to support you is absolutely key. And that sounds like such a paradox, but it totally is like a thing. Trust, work to meet the universe halfway, and the universe will support you. And just gear yourself up for really crazy synchronicities in life, like so many crazy things. I've only just touched the surface. It's super personal, so I didn't really want to blab it all out to the internet. I just stuck with the first couple of ones that came to my head. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this live, and I really enjoy making it and connecting with you all. And again, thank you to all my new subscribers. It's really, really cool to see my sub. I think I'm over 300 now, which is really nice. And please stay tuned for other videos coming this week, and I'll be doing this again. I think 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time is a good time because it's not too late. And I hope you enjoyed, and keep your vegan vibes high. Thank you. Have a great week, everyone. I also think too, I just like to make a note that we can manifest, if we get really good at this for our own lives, we can get really good at this for the collective. Like, let's manifest a world where animals are at peace, and we don't, like, a more peaceful world. I think if we all tap into these principles, we can really create a much more peaceful world, because we'll be happy with ourselves and our dreams. And yeah, I think if everyone's happy, no one will like hurt each other or animals. So that's my very esoteric point for this live. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did like it. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And I'm really looking forward to my next live. And yeah, have a great week and keep your vegan vibes very, very high.